You guys asked, so today we're gonna be rebuilding the Chicago Bears. God, I hate myself. Now, this team has kinda surprised me so far. I thought this was the worst team in the NFL. Now, I'm sorry to Bears fans hearing that, but I did think that. But they've actually won a couple games already. Now, one of them was kind of a fluky one. It was in an absolute goddamn hurricane against the 49ers. And then the other one was to the Texans. But still, this team has been pleasantly surprising, but super quick. Let's see if we can hit 25 likes on this video. We've been easily hitting that on every other video, and let's see if we can get to 500 subscribers. We're very close. We're only like 10 away at the time of recording this. Both of those should take you like 5 seconds at most, and it helps me out a ton. It helps push these videos. It just helps, and I would appreciate if you did that. Plus, you know, it would help you catch my absolutely amazing content. Smile. And huge shout out to your average horror fan for the suggestion. Go drop them a sub, and of course, if you want to shout out like that one, just let me know what team you want me to rebuild. It's as easy as that. But that's enough plugging. Just be sure to share this video with anyone you might think would enjoy it. English is hard. And let's get into today's video. Here we are taking a look at this Bears team. Now, I think you can see why this isn't my favorite team in the NFL, at least in terms of roster. So clearly these are my custom rosters, which are going to be available by the time this video goes up. PC only. They'll just be called like updated 2022. Brandon823021 is the name. But yeah, for my rosters, and I think in the typical EA rosters, this offense has only one player over an 80 overall, and that's a running back, David Montgomery. This team isn't great. Darnell Mooney has like 20 yards on the season. Equinemius St. Brown is their leading receiver, I'm pretty sure. This offensive line is horrible. It's actually been playing better than I would have expected, but it's so bad, dude. Kind of the same thing here with this defense. I'm gonna give Jaquan Brisker star dev. I like it. I'm gonna give both of their rookie secondary players star dev. There we go. I'm surprised I didn't have that, but like I was saying, this team just isn't great, man. I don't want to be completely pessimistic about this team though, because they do have some brighter spots, but man, it has some holes too. Obviously, the big question for this team and its future is Justin Fields and if he can work out. So far, he's been good in the preseason, but when it comes to actual NFL games, he hasn't been great, but that's not really his fault at all. His leading receiver has 20 yards. His offensive line is terrible, like I have said. He doesn't have great tight ends. He just doesn't have like any help here. So I can't really blame him for not being great already. I'm kind of worried it's going to be one of those situations where the team just breaks the quarterback and ends up making him worse than he was coming out of college. But on the defense here, they do have some pretty good players. Eddie Jackson hasn't been as good since like 2018, but is still a solid safety. Roquan Smith is a good linebacker for sure. Unfortunately, does want to be traded, doesn't want to come back, but for now he is here. Robert Quinn, I believe, got second in the NFL in sacks last year, so that's pretty nice. Jalen Johnson is a very underrated corner, has been having an amazing season so far. Only has been targeted like 3 times or something like that, something crazy. So he's just shutting receivers down. Obviously, a couple rookies in the secondary. Jaquan Brisker's been very good so far. Kyler Gordon, not so much, but it's tough for rookie corners, so we'll see. Also, what is that hair, bro? I don't know. Either way, though, this is probably gonna be the hardest rebuild you can do. So enough wasting time, and let's get into the rebuild. I always complain about this shit, but okay, trade declined, you see that, right? I genuinely can't see the gap in the trade interest level. It looks like it's completely full. I hate it here, bro. Okay, we are gonna be trading Byron Pringle and Cody Whitehair to the Raiders for a 2 and a 3 this year and a 6 next year. They're just some older players that won't really have a role in the future of the team. I know Cody Whitehair has been a good lineman for this team, has been one of their better linemen over the past few, like 4 or 5 years, but he's not really going to be a part of the future. He's already like 31. He's a little more expensive than I would want him to be, and I think it's better to get more picks because this team needs some help through the draft, for sure. Here we're going to be trading Justin Jones to the Giants for a 4th round pick. Okay, training camp standout for Jalen Johnson. What do we want to go? I guess I'll just go man to improve that, because I think that's our scheme, plus 5 man. That's a pretty huge upgrade. Up to 84 man coverage now. He looks amazing. At the mid-season point of year number 1, we're actually 2-5, which it's kind of sad to say, but that's probably better than I thought we would be, and probably better than we should be at a 74 overall. Actually did kind of change up the offensive line a little bit. From left to right, it is Braxton Jones, Larry Borum, Sam Mustipher, Alex Leatherwood, Tevin Jenkins. Obviously, no more Riley Reef. I just cut him. I want to focus on younger players. That sounds weird, but you know what I mean. And then obviously we traded Cody Whitehair, and I moved Larry Borum inside to guard because he is a bigger lineman, and I moved Tevin Jenkins back out to tackle because, you know, he was a tackle in college and he was good at it. I don't know why they're trying him at guard. I mean, he hasn't been bad at guard, but I don't know. Same thing with Alex Leatherwood. He's been horrible as a tackle and less horrible as a guard, I guess, but still bad. I just want to focus on the younger linemen, see if we can get them to develop. But we should have some re-signings here. I wonder who this is gonna be. Oh yeah, Roquan and David Montgomery. Anyone else? Maybe Equinemius St. Brown, just as like a 4th receiver. The rest of these players are just mostly depth pieces or like low-level starters. Let's start with obviously Roquan. We have so much cap space. That's a beautiful thing about this. 6.9 mil salary, nice. It's about 15 per year. I'm fine with that. Let's see if he takes that, and he does. Perfect. I'm kind of surprised he did, but I'm just glad he did. David Montgomery only wants like 6 million a year, so I'm more than okay with that, and he takes that too. Cool. The rest of these players I'll worry about later. They're either not interested or just I'm not interested in them, but we'll reassess this after the season. Okay, so at the end of year number 1, we actually finished 7-10. That is much better than I thought it would be, but that's not really a good thing. I'll tell you why in a second, but super quick, let's check some of these stats. I guess it technically could be a good thing for a reason, but it doesn't look like that happened. I was gonna say if we did good, it could mean Justin Fields did really well, but he didn't. Only 3,500 yards with the 17-game season, 25 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. That's not great. David Montgomery was very good, 1,100 yards, 4.2 yards per carry, 12 touchdowns. That's nice. Receiving, yeah, not much. It looks like we're definitely a run-first team. Yeah, we were almost last in passing attempts. We were, well, they split right here, so we were 1, 2, 3, 4th lowest, so 28th, I guess, in passing attempts. I don't know if I like that. I might switch the playbook already. Darnell Mooney was our leading receiver with only 873 yards, 5 touchdowns. That's probably a lot more than he's even gonna get in real life, to be fair. Cole Kmet was decent, but not many touchdowns. Velas Jones had a nice rookie season, and Equinemius St. Brown was okay. Blocking, actually very good. Well, oh, we have a new member of the all-castration team. Alex Leatherwood goes onto the list. That's an interesting player, because, you know, well, he's Alex Leatherwood, and also Leatherwood added to the all-castration team. That's something. Or I guess, wouldn't it be all-neuter team, because castration, I don't know, whatever. But yeah, the line was very good. You gotta remember we didn't pass it much this year, but still, this was a very good offensive line. I'm probably not gonna replace any of them. I'm just gonna roll with this next year and see if I'm gonna roll with it until it doesn't work. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know? Nicholas Morrow led the team in tackles with 125. Kyler Gordon had a lot, which probably means he got beat. Mike Pennell led the team in tackles for loss with 15. Robert Quinn and Travis Gibson each had 14. I've been calling him Tashawn Gibson. I hope I haven't called him that in this video, even though I think Tashawn Gibson was a Bear too, so that's kind of confusing, but whatever. Robert Quinn led the team with 11.5 sacks. Travis Gibson with 6.5. Armin Watts with 5.5, and nothing after that. Interceptions, 5 from Jalen Johnson, 4 from Kyler Gordon. Kyler Gordon is up there for Defensive Rookie of the Year, probably. He had a very nice rookie season. Jaquan Brisker and DeAndre Houston Carson each had 3. I must have accidentally played him as like slot corner or something, which is fine. We didn't really, I mean, no, where did I play him? Maybe sub linebacker? I have no idea where he got playing time from. That's kind of weird. Nicholas Morrow had 2 picks, and then a few players had 1 pick. So let's check who won MVP. Russell Wilson, he's not having that kind of year in real life. I expected him to honestly win MVP this year because I thought the Seahawks were just holding him back, but it kind of looks like a lot of the problems we saw with him are just kind of him, like eating sacks for no reason, pause. But now he kind of underthrows sometimes too, which he would never do in Seattle. He looks more panicked with a much better offensive line, so I don't know, man. Something also interesting I would like to point out is the Seahawks offensive line isn't bad this year, and it's technically worse than it has been when Russell Wilson was there. I'm not saying it was kind of Russ's fault eating a lot of sacks, but it was a little bit. It was a super frustrating thing to watch. Either way, he won MVP here. It's so nice to see some of the updated overalls for my rosters, but obviously no Bears up here. Offensive Player of the Year goes to Christian McCaffrey. We see the usual two at the top, McCaffrey and Cup. No Bears. That's not super surprising. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Aaron Donald. Who would have guessed? No Bears, I don't believe. Okay, no Robert Quinn even. That's kind of surprising. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Jamison Williams of the Detroit Lions. Velus Jones at number 4, so that's decent. No other Bears though. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Dude. Kyler Gordon comes in at number 2. That kind of sucks. Andrew Booth Jr. of the Minnesota Vikings wins it. Any other Bears? I see Jaquan Brisker at 5, and that's it. So no awards won, unfortunately, but we did place for some of them, which is more than I thought we could say for this team. I mean, it's a 75 overall. It was a 73. We did surprisingly well this year, but I'm not super happy about that because that means our pick isn't going to be good, and that's especially bad for this team considering, like I said, we are a 75 overall. We need good draft pick, but they're just going to be like, I mean, I guess maybe they'll be top 10, but for this team to work out, we need those like top picks. We need like top 3 at least. But like I said, I'm going to change the offensive playbook. How was our defense? Was our defense any good? Our defense was actually decent. It was number 15 for yards, 26th in points scored for offense, so not great, and then 16th in points allowed. Hey, considering the players we have on our defense, the Bears defense might be pretty broken in this game. I was thinking about running with the Panthers playbook, but considering we don't have a great receiving back, I'm just going to go with the boring one and go Tampa Bay. I don't know what the best, I think it's still Tampa Bay as the best offensive playbook in this game. Let me know in the comments if you know what it is, because I genuinely don't. What offense passes the most? It looks like they're number 3, but they probably fluctuate between like top 5-ish. The Chiefs playbook passes a lot. The Bills passes a lot. We'll just rock with Tampa Bay. We'll see what happens. In the Super Bowl, this is an interesting one. The Bengals take down the Buccaneers 35-21. Now, before the season, that would be a fair one, but the Bengals, they have not looked great. Even the Buccaneers have had a ton of injuries, so I mean, if the Bucs get healthy, then I could definitely see it. But dude, right now the Eagles look amazing. I called this earlier in the year, obviously. I always call this kind of stuff. I mean, obviously they gained hype later on towards the beginning of the year, but like almost the end of last season, I was like, next year look out for the Eagles. Jalen Hurts has been a monster this year. I did not expect that. I always thought he was a little overhated, a little underrated, but he has looked amazing this year. And then another team, weirdly enough, to look out for is the Jags. They have been crushing teams. They destroyed the Chargers. I know they were hurt, but still, you have to be good in some regard to crush a team, like regardless of if the other team's hurt or not. Like, you know what I mean? And then they obviously destroyed the Colts, who went and beat the Chiefs next week, so I don't know. That's definitely not my Super Bowl prediction, but those are probably two of the hottest teams right now. Either the Jags or definitely the Bills, but the Bills are injured, but when healthy, I thought they were honestly gonna go like 17-0 this season until they got injured. Yes, Wynton McManus at 54, now 55 overall. I thought it was gonna be a good upgrade. So for re-signings, what do I want to do here? Wow, we actually had 2 dev-ups for older players here. I'll re-sign DeAndre Houston Carson. I'm a big fan of him in real life. Let's go 2-year. He is interested in coming back. We have so much money. I'm fine paying him like a little deal like that. Why not? Nicholas Morrow also went up in overall. We're gonna have to go very player friendly, but even then it's only like it's only 2.39 million per year. I am chilling, dude. We can easily do that. Okay, he doesn't want it. I might look for him in free agency, but yeah, he's just not interested, unfortunately. Oh yeah, I forgot they traded for N'Keal Harry. Man, I was shocked when the Patriots took him. I thought he was like a borderline 3rd round prospect. That was such a weird pick. Sam Mustipher, clearly need him back. He was a very good center for us. Unfortunately though, he's not interested in us. We'll see if he takes that, and he doesn't. I'm definitely going to look to re-sign him too. The rest of these players can go. I'm probably just going gonna look for upgrades at the rest of these positions. Equanimous, if he takes like neutral, but he's not going to, yeah. Call me absolutely out of my mind, but I'm gonna franchise tag Sam Mustipher. He played very well, and we just don't need this money yet this year. We can maybe use it next year, but we'll just be able to re-sign him by that point. I'm gonna franchise tag Sam Mustipher. And it's another great thing because it's basically a one-year deal, and if he randomly sucks next year, we can just not re-sign him. So in free agency, something I realized I forgot is to change the overalls of free agents. I haven't done that in my rosters yet, so I think Odell is still an 88 in my base roster, which a little high at this point in his career. I mean, I think he could be that if he played a full season, just not healthy, has been on some questionable teams, so yeah. What do I want to do here in free agency? There isn't really a lot for me here. I mean, there's some decent younger players with decent overalls and that have a dev trait, but they're not really interested in us. I might think about Mecole Hardman. I haven't gotten him in a rebuild in a bit. I used to get him a ton, but not as much recently. He's not all that expensive. We'll try that. He is interested in that deal, so that's nice. But let me keep looking through here. Someone I haven't really mentioned is Dominique Robinson. I just randomly saw him looking through our depth chart. I was not high on him coming out of Miami of Ohio, but he's been a really pleasant surprise so far, so he's a player to watch for the future. He's looked really good. I'm gonna give him a dev trade actually, why not? In my rebuilds, I don't really know if it's seen as cheating, but I like to give players that I think will be good or think could be good a dev trade. Just because. If you don't like it, then go do your own rebuild, I guess, and don't do that. I don't know. In free agency, I'm not gonna be going that crazy, to be honest. The biggest player we're gonna be going for, technically in terms of overall, is gonna be Leighton Vander Esch. We should get him. We have a comfortable lead on him by 2 points or whatever you call that. I don't know. But yeah, I'm realizing I never really get him in rebuilds. Obviously, he was in the Cowboys rebuild, but he's done really well in older Madden games. He obviously was a monster in his rookie year. It's just kind of been derailed by injuries, but obviously there are no injuries in this world, so it's not going to play a factor in it, but it would be cool if he could break back out here, like I break your mom's back out. I don't know. Mecole Hardman is going to be the next player I go for. You guys saw that. He should be a decent number 2 option. Maybe number 1. No, I think Darnell Mooney developed, so he'll be number 2. That'll be a nice number 2. Still only 25 years old with that star dev. Obviously, I lowered him in my rosters because I think he is a little overrated in the game, but obviously he has a ton of upside with that insane speed. And then this is an interesting one. We're going to be going after Deshaun Hand on a 1-year rental. Another player that was very good as a rookie. I think maybe in the same year even, but just kind of fell off after that. He was a stud for the Lions in his rookie year. I think alongside Romeo Okwara, who I'm a big fan of, but hasn't really recaptured that since for some reason. He didn't really get majorly injured, I don't believe. He just kind of fell off. Just kind of a scheme issue wherever he's been and all that sort of stuff. So obviously we're going to move him to defensive tackle, and he should be pretty decent. And even if he's not, it's just a 1-year rental. I just thought I would take a chance. And then Nicholas Morrow, we're going to try to re-sign. So let's see if any of these players re-sign right off the bat, and they all sign. That's huge. So in the draft, the Detroit Lions have the number 1 overall pick. I almost traded for their draft pick, but I didn't for some reason. I really wish I did. I think we do have a Falcons pick though, which is pretty nice. So that might be good if it's like a 2nd or 3rd rounder. But what do I want to do here? I have no idea, to be honest. Why is this guy top 5? He doesn't look that good. He's a speed rusher, but he only has B finesse move. I guess he's not top 5, but he's like number 6 probably. I'm good. Ooh, he definitely looks better, but this guy also looks kind of meh. Definitely better though. Good lord. I'm gonna go Abdul Thurman here. This guy looks crazy. Actually, I'm gonna trade down. Now, I know in my last video I did this and absolutely screwed myself, but let's see. I'm not gonna trade down too far at all if I do. Let's just trade down with the Eagles 2 spots to pick up a 3rd. That's not bad at all. We go from pick 9 to 11, so that's kind of rough, but you know, at least we're not in New York, that's for sure. The Pittsburgh Steelers. I hate the way he speaks, I don't know why. But let's take Abdul Thurman. I don't know if I showed him yet. He's 6 6'5", 291, 22 years old out of Ohio State. Not fast, obviously, but 41 reps on the bench at the combine. Worse at his pro day, which is weird. I mean, obviously, they kind of try to inflate the numbers at the pro day because it's less official, I guess. You can kind of get away with being better there. But, like, this guy is crazy. A's for play rec, block shed, pursuit, stamina, tackle, and impact block. B's for awareness and power moves. I almost said pursuit. C, awareness, which is good for a player that ran a 5.02. And that's not a defensive tackle C finesse moves. That's a defensive end C finesse moves, which is even better. Not much hit power. I'm guessing this is just one of those players that can't stay healthy, but obviously here we have injuries off. He has D to F injury. I've seen a lot of these type of players this year. They're super interesting and realistic. Like, these type of players happen all the time in real life. A good example for same position is Maurice Hurst. You know, he was really good for a couple years, hasn't really been as good lately, but he fell because of a heart condition, I believe, which is, you know, health related. This is like similar. But let's take him. Wow, really? That sucks. Only normal dev form. He has 93 speed, or 93 strength. I wish he had 93 speed too. Still should be a good overall though, but disappointing that he only has normal dev. That kind of sucks. Oh, I was gonna go with this dude. I was like, oh, he has B deep route, B to C awareness, good ball carrier vision, like decent overall catching stats. I want you to take a wild guess at what his speed is. 4.6. That's listed as decent speed? What? He does have elite accelerate. This guy is still interesting, even though he is slow. I'll take a look, but I still might end up taking him. Ooh, this tight end looks really good. So I am gonna take this receiver. We're kind of in a weird spot, because we either A, have a player at like every position that can be good, or B, a player at every position that plays well, even though they aren't a great overall. It's a really interesting spot to be in. But I am gonna go Paul Whiting. I mean, overall, he looks solid. He's like the best receiver in this class. Of course, it's the position I focus scouted, but it's a really weak receiver class, even though it said it was the strongest position in the class, but I can't find any good ones for some reason. But yeah, this guy isn't fast at all, but I like the elite acceleration, and overall his stats look good, so let's take him. Paul Whiting has normal dev. God damn it. Maybe we drafted like a Deebo Samuel type player, because I mean Deebo he isn't fast necessarily. He's just a really good runner. That must be what he is, like a Traylon Burks, Deebo Samuel, maybe like Laviska Shenault. Although Laviska Shenault, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. With this next pick, I'm gonna go Sean Wembley. That's a goofy name, you know what I'm saying. But he is a coverage linebacker. He's basically a safety at 6'1", 221, like not much tackling, I guess. He ran a 4.61 at the combine, which is solid for sure. Listed with elite speed, acceleration, change of direction. Looks good, and I guess he doesn't have bad tackling. He has A to C tackle, A to C pursuit, B hit power, only D block shed, but maybe good awareness, block shedding, or play rec, A zone coverage. So this looks like a decent linebacker. Let's take him. And he also has normal. I'm getting really unlucky with the dev traits in this one. I thought all three of these players would have one. Damn. And with probably the last pick I'm going to go George Phillips. He is a tackle out of Ohio State. Another Ohio State player. He's 6'7", 325. 38 reps on the bench. Not fast, obviously, but we run a power scheme, so that's fine. A power run scheme. Has B awareness, A lead block. Overall, looks like a very powerful blocker. Not much pass blocking though, so not going to be great with the Bucs playbook, but he's probably not going to start for us in this first year at least. I'm just going to play him at probably guard if one of our linemen do end up being bad this year. So let's take him, and he does have hidden. Okay, 90 strength, that's decent. With 38 reps, that probably should be higher, to be honest, but we'll take it. We'll take the dev traits we can get at this point, you know what I'm saying? We actually had a decent little draft here. So Abdul Thurman was only a 74 overall defensive end, but at defensive tackle, he does go up to a 77. Now, explain to me this. He had like 5 A's, or at least 5. It was like maybe 6 or 7. I don't know. How does that equal only a 74 overall? Like, A's are the highest you can get, clearly, and he wasn't bad at anything. He isn't fast, but he makes up for that with his strength. I don't get it. I thought he would be like a 77 at defensive end and then go up to like a 79 or 80 at defensive tackle, but either way, I'll take it. He's a good player. Paul Whiting is a good receiver. I wasn't so sure after I saw he had normal dev, but he is kind of like a running back type. He has 81 ball carrier vision, 71 carrying, 89 change of direction, 74 break tackle, decent just running moves. I guess those aren't amazing, but they're decent for sure. Even decent route running, I'm kind of surprised about that. Just, he's good at everything, he's just not fast. That's the problem. Sean Wembley's a 72 overall, of course is pretty decently fast. Not as good of coverage as I would have expected, but still a 72 overall isn't bad. He'll be a solid depth linebacker. Maybe our sub linebacker, we'll see. George Phillips is only a 66. I'm really disappointed with that. And then I picked a tight end, Khalid Sears. He is decent. He'll be our number 2. The CPU took a defensive tackle, Curtis Byers. So we've gotten a lot of, or no, I picked this player actually. I picked him. I forgot about that. 94 strength is really solid. He had 41 reps. And he has 70 speed too, so he's not just strong. He is decently fast for a defensive tackle. And then the CPU took, honestly, good players. Antoine Hoover is going to be our number 4 receiver. He looks really nice. He's going to be our slot guy, or our backup slot guy, I guess. Not much speed, but great acceleration. Looks decently similar to the other receiver that we took. Just much worse release and deep route, but everything else is similar. They picked an alright running back, they picked a meh linebacker, and they picked a decent borderline starting center. So the CPU actually does really well for us here. We had a pretty good draft. That was not bad. So this is a look at the team going into year number 2, and honestly, it's looking a lot better. Like, I think our oldest starter is maybe 27 years old. Or no, we have Robert Quinn and Eddie Jackson, but other than them, this team is so young. Like, most of the players we have are 25 or a lot younger for some of them. We're hoping for a better season from Justin Fields. He's only 24. Obviously, with the new playbook, there's a good chance that he does a lot better than he did last year. I kind of have a feeling that the offensive line isn't going to be as good as it was last year, but if it isn't, we have June and Phillips to fill in wherever a player is not doing well, so that's nice. And then the defense, obviously adding Leighton Vander Esch and Sean Wembley makes this a great linebacking core. The interior is looking great with Deshaun Hand and Abdul Thurman, so you love to see that. Jalen Johnson up to an 83. Like, the team's looking good, and these players are only gonna get better. Also, I re-signed Adam Shaheen. I just wanted to point that out, just because he's a former Bear, and I liked him coming out of college. Out of what, Ashland, right? Some tiny school. Yeah, Ashland. Just thought that was interesting. Here are the specialists. I always love the ones that use one speed rusher and one power rusher, because you can get most of your edge players involved in that, and this is one of them, so I like that. I don't know how to change it. I feel like there should be a way to change it, but you can't. Some of them are only speed, only power. I don't know. That was random. That was all pointless to say, but I just wanted to say it. Look at this division, bro. What? It's a little lopsided there. The Packers are 7-0, the Lions are 0-7, the Vikings and us are each 1-6. But speaking of that, yeah, we're 1-6. That's not ideal. Our only win of the season, ironically, coming against the Detroit Lions at 0-7, only winning by 1 point, so we're not literally like any better. I guess we're 1 point better than them. We have some somewhat pointless upgrades there, but still upgrades nonetheless. I guess I'll do these to hopefully get some stamina, because, I mean, the better we do, the more our players develop, the better we are for the future, but also might be nice to tank, so, I don't know. Okay, so this is just gonna be like, okay, 1 or fewer turnovers? Yeah, right. And we have a breakout QB. This could be pretty huge if we get this. I don't think we're going to, but it's the Falcons, so maybe. So we'll see if we can hit that. If not, it's not the end of the world, but it would be really nice. And then some re-signings before we get into that. Ooh, some pretty big ones. Jalen Johnson we're going to start out with. We're probably going to have to go very player-friendly. I'm fine paying him like 15 a year. It says it's only 12 mil a year. What? I don't know how contracts work in this game. I must just be dumb, but I just don't get them. Okay, he resigns. Perfect. Darnell Mooney, all off. I'll have to go very player-friendly as well. That's only 7 per year. Or no, that's what it's saying the neutral is. I guess the high... I don't know. I'm confused. Cole Kmet, he was decent in the first year. Still very young. Has a good dev trait. We'll try neutral, but 4 years. And he takes that. Perfect. Travis Gibson's been decent for us. We'll try 3 years, just neutral money, and he takes that. Perfect. And the rest, ooh, we have Robert Quinn in here. This is a lot of our decent players. Well, I'll have to reassess those at the end of the year. Let's see how Deshaun Hand is doing so far. I moved him to our number 2 defensive tackle because I want to get the rookie more playing time. He's doing pretty well. I'm going to re-sign him. Already 7 tackles for loss, 3 sacks through less than half of the season. I'm cool with that. I don't want to give him that many years. I'll try this. Okay, well, we'll try again at the end of the year. Hopefully we can get him back. But let's see if we can hit this breakout and get a win here. And we get the win, so that's going to give us this, I guess? Who said short weeks had to be tough? 2,500 XP for the entire offense. That's nice. And 10 morale, okay. That's pretty huge. And then QB breakout, we did well on offense. That would be crazy if we hit that. Any thoughts on the play you got out of Justin Fields? Damn. That sucks. That would have been huge to hit. And actually, since we're here, let's try to re-sign Darnell Mooney once again, I guess. We're just going to have to go extra hard for him, probably. We'll try that, and I just don't think he's really going to take anything. If we can't re-sign him, honestly, we can't re-sign him. I'm not going to try too hard to re-sign him. We got to remember, he's only an 80 overall. I know Bears fans like him, but he's only an 80 overall. It's not like we're losing some 90, 95 overall player. We can replace him. And actually, one more thing I wanted to check, how is the line holding up? Because we might make some benches. Justin Fields isn't doing great, but let's see, blocking. The tackles, and Sam Mustafa aren't doing very well. We'll just do the rest of the season and see how it plays out. Nobody's doing too bad that I want to bench him now. We'll just see. I never know what to do for these bye week things. Should we go, plus XP? I mean, this year doesn't matter too much anyways. We're not going to make the playoffs, so we might as well just go XP to make them better for the future. And it's only going to affect us for 1 game, so I'm fine with that. And obviously, we have a ton of upgrades for both of those things. Jaquan Brisker up to a 78 with morale. That's huge. He's going to be an 80 by hopefully the end of the year even. Justin Fields gets an upgrade point in here. Jalen Johnson. Always go slot if you want man coverage, by the way. Brings him up 2 overall, up to an 85. That's huge. We could be looking good by this time next year. That's a lot of upgrades. But let's get to the end of year number 2, and hopefully we can finish strong. Well, that's a bit unfortunate, isn't it? At the end of year number 2, we finished 2-15. I guess that's 1 win for each year we've done so far. That's not great. Justin Fields was arguably worse this year. 4,400 yards, obviously a lot more. 31 touchdowns, 16 interceptions, only 54% completion percentage. Got sacked 51 times. Apparently our line wasn't great. Rushing was bad. I guess because we changed the scheme. 794 yards, 3.9 yards per carry, 5 touchdowns. Can we run that shit back? Can we go back to the Bears offense? Is it too late? Darnell Mooney led the team in receiving with 1,100 yards, aka the player that we're probably going to be losing this offseason. 11 touchdowns. Paul Whiting as a rookie, 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, so that's pretty good. Mecole Hardman with 869 yards, nice, only 2 touchdowns. Cole Kmet. It's crazy our number 4 receiver had 850 yards. That's something. He had a pretty decent year. Again, not many touchdowns, but still decent. Blocking. Yikes. Honestly, I don't want to keep anyone on this offensive line other than Larry Borum. Everyone was collectively dog shit. What happened? Who could have seen that coming? It's not like I called it before the season. We had a ton of tackles. That tells me our offense was horrid. Leighton Vander Esch had 157 tackles. Sean Wembley with 149. Tackles for loss, we had a lot. I don't feel like reading all that. And sacks, we had next to none. Deshaun Hand led the team with 6. and that's like it. Robert Quinn only had 4. He disappeared this year. What happened? Jalen Johnson had a lot of interceptions, but he also allowed a lot of catches. We were 31st in offensive yards, and not surprising, we probably weren't good in defensive yards either. Yeah, 31st. Offensive scoring, yeah. I almost said offensive player of the year. We were last in points scored, okay. And 31st in points allowed, so... Not great, you know, not the best year. I saw a few questionable things there. Okay, Justin Herbert wins MVP, interesting. Tua and Jalen Hurts, I mean, they're both having good years this year, but they're at a 78 and a 75 overall. Okay, Jacoby Brissett up there too, at number 7. That's something. I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like the Buccaneers offense only works for the Buccaneers this year. Like, it doesn't work for anyone else. They can throw Jacoby Brissett in there and he'll do way better than Justin Fields. That makes a lot of sense. Offensive Player of the Year, of course, goes to the white boy, Cooper Kupp. Our 2 favorite white boys up there once again in the top 3. Christian McCaffrey, who would have guessed? I see Among Us St. Brown at number 4. That's fun. I see the running back up there. What team are we? We're the Bears. I need a better memory. I swear to God. Oh, and who would have guessed? The same top 3 as always. It seems like it's the same top 4 as always. Aaron Donald, Nick Bosa, DeMarcus Lawrence, Shaquille Barrett. It's like nothing different ever. No Bears up here, unsurprising. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Paul Whiting. That's pretty huge. He's likely going to be our receiver 1 of the future if he gets a dev trait. That's huge. No other Bears. I don't think we really had any other than the running back and the backup tight end. I'm kind of surprised we didn't see either of them up there. Sean Wembley only at number 2. He does lose it. That kind of sucks. Abdul Thurman at number 6. He was not great in his rookie year. He probably got a lot of tackles for loss, but that's about it. I was scrolling through here and I was like, wait, I saw something weird. Teddy Bridgewater is the Seahawks quarterback. That's something. Ooh, the John Gruden Super Bowl? The Buccaneers take down the Raiders, I couldn't remember their name, 34-31. That is something. Ooh, Paul Whiting gets an upgrade point. Did he go up to star? I hope he did. Yes, he did. Okay, beautiful. Up to a 78 overall. I was hoping he would get more upgrade points, I'm not gonna lie. But 1, I will take it. Ooh, whoa. +3 awareness, +3 catching, +2 short route running. That's a, like, massive upgrade for only 1 overall. That's actually kind of ridiculous. How did he get that much? So in terms of re-signings, we kind of have some huge questions here. Obviously, we want these players back. Some of them, not that one, but some of them we want back. The question is, can we get them back? Well, let's start with Darnell Mooney. I don't really know what to do with him. This was apparently the last deal I offered him. No, it's not. I offered him a 7-year. We're probably gonna have to give him something like this, which I guess isn't even that bad. It only comes out to like 13 per year, which at this point in the future is probably not even gonna be that bad. Although, look at our depth. Look at the Chicago position depth at the top right. Mecole Hardman at a 79, Paul Whiting at a 78, Antoine Hoover at a 76. We honestly wouldn't even be too bad off if we did let him go. I'm gonna let him go, and we're gonna test free agency because we can probably find a better player there than him. Deshaun Hand was decent, so I do want him back. I think he was our best pass rusher. In terms of sacks, at least. We're probably gonna have to go very player-friendly. We'll try that. And okay, he does take that. That's huge. We needed him back. And I'll re-sign MJ Stewart if... no, he's expensive. Never mind. Oh... I see some things here. I see 2 things that would immediately help our 2 biggest problems. Justin Jefferson doesn't have any offers. He's not super interested if I do that, but I don't know if it matters. This is a really good way to blow all of your money in one offseason. Well, let me take a look around here, cause I wanna make a big splash in free agency. We're gonna go absolutely hard in free agency. We're gonna be going after Justin Jefferson, Nick Bosa, Rob Havenstein, Chris Lindstrom, and Grant Delpit. Obviously Justin Jefferson because we need a true amazing receiver. Nick Bosa because we had literally 0 pass rush last year, and he plays very well in this game. I don't see most people do rebuilds like this, at least when I used to watch rebuilds a lot, which was a few years ago, to be fair. At least I used to watch them more back then. But I just try to get players that actually perform well, which seems to work out sometimes, seems to not work out sometimes. It just depends. But yeah, I just try to go for the players that do well. Rob Havenstein, because that one's obvious. Our offensive line was horrible last year. Chris Lindstrom, obviously, again. And then Grant Delpit, because Eddie Jackson hasn't been great, and I think Eddie Jackson is expensive. You know who isn't expensive? Grant Delpit. He's only wanting like 5 per year, and I know he's another player that does pretty well in this game. Plus, he's only 25, plus he has a superstar development trait, plus I like him in real life. So this is a really fun free agency class, and I don't even think I'm done after this. I think I want more. So let's see if we can get any of these players just right off the rip. We actually get 2. It looks like we get Havenstein and Nick Bosa. So those are 2 huge additions. One obviously a bit bigger than the other, but they should make immediate huge impacts. And another addition I'm going to make to that group is I think I'm going to try to get CJ Gardner-Johnson, CD Deuce, whatever he goes by. Unfortunately, he's not interested. Maybe I shouldn't then. Well, we'll try that. We're tied for the lead on him. I just want a good nickel corner, which is where we're going to play him, because obviously he plays that a lot in real life. At least he did for the Saints. But still some big names here. We're tied for Grant Delpit and tied for Chris Lindstrom. We might have to up these. Okay, so now we have the lead on everybody except CJ Gardner-Johnson, and we're just tied for the lead on him. I guess we technically have it, but let's see if any of these players sign, and 2 of them do. Chris Lindstrom and Grant Delpit. Now we're still trying for these 2, obviously. Let's see if either of them sign. And it looks like CD Deuce signs with the Bengals. Interesting. I'm not too upset about that one. He was kind of just an addition. We didn't really need him, but it would have been nice to get him. But these are actually some interesting signings. Rashawn Gary joins Trayvon Walker and Josh Allen, or I guess he doesn't join Josh Allen, but he joins Trayvon Walker on the Jaguars. Justin Herbert to the Giants. We do see that a lot in this game. Michael Pittman to the Texans. I could see that for some weird reason. I don't know why. Their new Andre Johnson, but not nearly as good. Not that Michael Pittman is bad, but still. A lot of interesting ones here. Bobby Wagner to the Titans. Eric Kendricks to the Eagles. I could kind of see that for some reason. That's where Michael Kendricks used to play, so yeah. Alright, so new week. Justin Jefferson still has not signed. I guess let's just keep trying. And the Falcons are interested in him. Oh no. Well, I guess let's try very player friendly. And that only ties us with them. This would be paying him $40 million per year. Is it worth it? You know, I'm gonna say it is, because we need something at receiver. So let's try it. And he signs with us. Okay, we're good. I forgot what team we were for a second. That's a lot of money. We get everyone, but at what cost? Literally. Here we're going to be trading Braxton Jones to the Rams for a 3rd round pick. We just don't really need him anymore. We kind of replaced him with Rob Havenstein. He wasn't very good last year, so it's just nice to add a draft pick. You know what I mean? So the good thing here is we have the number 1 overall pick. The bad thing is I don't know what to do with it. I have no idea. Oh, I might have solved that problem already. This guy looks okay. He's not very fast. He's not extremely strong. His stats don't blow me away. He has some A's, I guess, but I don't know what that run block looks like. I don't know what that run block I would guess the power's pretty good. Ooh, Trevor Morgan. Ooh. Only B awareness, C play rec. A running back, top 5. Not to mention a slow power back, top 5. I was hoping to see like a generational player here, but I have only seen one generational player all year. It was a receiver I took in, I think, my Seahawks rebuild. Ooh, this corner looks really... Dude, none of these players look all that good. Honestly, I'm trading this back. There's nobody here that's good enough for me to take, at least at face value. That tackle might be good, but I don't know if he's good enough to justify taking here. These aren't that good at trade down offers, actually. Maybe I'll just take it. These are horrible. Only a 2 and a 4 to trade up to number 1 overall from 11? Maybe I will just take it. Well, I guess let's just go Mitch Bass then? And he has normal dev. I should have just listened to myself. He doesn't look good. I hate this game sometimes. I'm not blaming myself for that. There should be better trade offers. If there were better trade offers, I would have done what I should have done. Oh, the player I wanted is still here. Okay, everything works out in the end, just in a weird order. Okay, Justin Adams looks really good. He's only 20 21 years old. He's a power rusher, 6'6", 275 out of Bama, so he must be good, you know what I mean? He ran a 4.69, nice. 31 reps on the bench, also very good. Not the best awareness, but I love that A power moves. A tackle too. Actually, he doesn't look as good as I thought he did. We're not gonna overthink it, let's take him. And of course he has normal. This is like my unluckiest rebuild ever. Let's go Jimmy Carmichael. I think I'm gonna play him as a nickel corner. Of course normal dev, but should be a good player. I'm just speed running this at this point. I want to get out of here. I'm sick of the draft. They've been so bad for me. Finally, we hit a hidden. It's just a random lineman, but it's better to get one than none, I guess. Unless it's like times getting AIDS or something, then it's not better to get it more than once or at all. Well, I guess you can only get it once. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. I'm not gonna lie. I think this is gonna be our last pick. This Manny Lewis guy is interesting. He has a dev trait. This guy could be good. He had a lot of A's, but they were for like kind of random stats. He looked really strong, has maybe decent, I don't know. He looks maybe okay. Get me out of here. I'm sick of it. I don't know if I just get horribly unlucky or if I'm terrible at drafting, but I wasn't this bad before I started doing like videos. I swear, I used to be so good at doing rebuilds and drafting. What happened? You know, actually, that right tackle was the third best player in the class. This was just a horrible class. The running back at like number 2 overall is actually an elusive back with like 88 speed. That's odd. 88 strength at running back? Is this dude the next Derrick Henry or something? This safety was really good too. Simon Baugh. I didn't even look at safeties because I don't really need him, but he looks good. So yeah, all my draft classes just kind of suck too, so that doesn't help. But Mitch Bass is only, well, I guess not only, he is a 77 overall. If he had a dev trait, he would be really good, but unfortunately, clearly he does not. No finesse, but that's fine. We run a power scheme, obviously. Looks like a decent tackle. I might play him over Tevin Jenkins, because Tevin Jenkins plays terribly. Justin Adams is only a 72 overall. That's a huge disappointment. I thought he'd be a really good player. I mean, again, I kind of called it, like, right before I took him. I was like, wow, everything else about him looks terrible, and he isn't very good. Jimmy Carmichael's a 73. What's he going to be at corner, which is where I'm going to play him? He is probably 72? No, he stays at 73. Okay. Decent player, and Matt Knoll is a 73. Honestly, a lot better than I thought he would be, but we'll take that. I think we're going to play him at center. Manny Lewis is only a 69. Nice. And then the CPU did all right. They picked another decent running back, so not the worst draft ever looking at it. I just wish we could have hit on more dev traits. Here is a look at the team going into year number 3 of the rebuild. Obviously, you know, a decent change on the offense. Nothing major, only a 99 overall, best receiver in the league at this point. Now, maybe this is a hot take, but I almost think he's the best receiver in the league in real life at this point, with Devontae Adams on the Raiders. I also think Tyreek Hill is up there, but like, I'm a huge Justin Jefferson fan. I always have been. Justin Fields he's only gone up 3 overall in 2 years. He has not been very good. Clearly, which is crazy because he was 23 and then he was 24. How do you only go up 3 overall in 2 years, playing a full season at QB? I mean, he's been bad, but he hasn't been like the worst. I don't know how I closed out of that. I'm stupid. The offensive line is much improved, obviously changing 4 of the positions, pretty much everybody except Larry Borum. We'll see if Larry Borum can even hold up, or if really anyone here can hold up. You never know with linemen, but we'll see. I don't know why I said that so weird. Cole Kmet's been a very solid tight end for us. David Montgomery, when we had the old scheme, was very good, but now he's kind of eh. And then the defense here, obviously some pretty big additions as well. You know, Nick Bosa, I would consider that pretty big. Added Grant Delpit, who will take over for Eddie Jackson next year. I have him started at the sub linebacker position. Sean Wimbley went up to a star dev. I don't know why that's the one name I can remember. Maybe because it's a fucking goofy ass name. I don't know. Like, everyone here has developed pretty well, like Jaquan Brisker, Jalen Johnson. Just, we're not playing that well for some reason. But hopefully that can change this year. Let's get to the mid-season point of year number 3. That's pretty nice. I'll take that for sure. So I may or may not have realized I was still set up for a browser recording. So if the screen looked a little zoomed in, I'm stupid. I have people tell me my channel's super underrated all the time, but then I go out here and do stupid shit like that. So I don't know. We have some upgrades here. I didn't even, like, acknowledge the record. I should probably do that. But Manny Lewis goes up to a 70, 71 with morale, plus 4 man. He likes covering the men now, that's for sure. But we are 3-4 at the midseason point, which isn't bad considering we started out 0-2. It looks like we went on a nice winning streak and now we're on a losing streak again. That's fun. Just the definition of, I guess I would say inconsistent, but I guess we're consistently bad, then good, then bad. Does that make us inconsistent or consistent? I don't know. But we have a breakout wide receiver, hopefully Mecole Hardman? Or whoever. I'm fine with whoever, honestly. Not that Justin Jefferson can break out. It's Paul Whiting. That's probably actually the best case scenario because he's still younger. 3 touchdowns or 150 yards. I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll see. And in terms of re-signings, what do I want to do here? So I cut Eddie Jackson because he cost us 14 mil for this year. I think his contract likely would have been up anyways, but yeah, there wasn't really a reason for me to do that now that I think about it, so it might have been kind of pointless, but oh well. Matt Gay, the GOAT, I didn't even point out that I signed him, but we'll re-sign him for like 4 years or something if he wants that. Perfect. Got to get the Gay boy in here. You know, honestly, I want to see how our line's doing, because I might trade either Tevin Jenkins, Larry Borum, Alex Leatherwood. I have some trade pieces here maybe, because we're not doing great. For some weird reason, I find it hard to get into the mindset of doing a non-realistic rebuild because I always do realistic rebuilds. Like I never do unrealistic ones where I make crazy trades and shit. Like I've never done that. I'm a psychopath, so I do rebuilds for fun just because it's interesting to me. But they're like always realistic or just really weird when I do them. Like it'll be a theme team. Oh my god, dude. Justin Fields is so bad in this game. I might look for a new option at Q. It's kind of too late. I kind of have to roll with him. I don't know. I just don't think we're gonna win with Justin Fields. He looks like the reason we're not doing well. Our offensive line is amazing. Yeah, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something weird. We're 6th in offense right now, so we're not necessarily doing too poorly. Oh, that's probably because I don't know if we've had a bye week yet. That's why we're 6th. Okay, we're probably more like mid. All right, there we go. We're trading Justin Fields to the Minnesota Vikings, our division rivals, for a 1st and a 3rd. Is that controversial? Maybe, but he's just so bad in this game. I don't know what it is, but he does not work. We're just kind of gutting the depth at this point, at least for the players we need to re-sign. I don't know if we need to re-sign Nicholas Morrow, to be fair, but he's just kind of a depth player. We can find an upgrade there. And we're getting a 2nd, a 3rd, and a 4th out of it. That's very good value. The main piece here obviously being Tevin Jenkins. I don't even think I mentioned him. But yeah, just depth pieces for great draft pick. Unfortunately, I couldn't get a 1st out of that, but yeah, still great value. There's no way. We get a 1st round pick out of the Giants for Alex Leatherwood and Khalil Herbert. I'm glad I didn't say this is a realistic rebuild. That's for sure. And the fucked up part is, if I wanted some of these players back, I could probably just get them in free agency because I'm trading them because their contracts are up. And here we get a 2nd round pick out of like 30 plus year old, only 81 overall Eddie Jackson. I don't get the trading in this game. All right, so at the end of year number 3, we finished 7-10 once again. Honestly, I feel like the quarterback we just threw in there was probably better than Justin Fields. Whoa, wait, he was good for being a 64 overall. He outplayed Justin Fields with 10 overall less. 3,100 yards, 24 touchdowns, 11 interceptions is kind of high, but that's in half a year. Wait, how did he put up 3,000 yards in half a season? Okay, or I guess it was technically, yeah, 668 downs played, so that's a little more than half a year, but not much. David Montgomery hasn't been very good, only 3.9 yards per carry, did get 1,000 yards, 15 touchdowns. Receiving, though, Justin Jefferson with 1,500 yards, only 6 touchdowns, though. Paul Whiting with 1,200 yards and 14 touchdowns. That's an insane season. He's probably going to be up there for Offensive Player of the Year, maybe? I don't know. Cole Kmet even had 1,000 yards. Mecole Hardman almost had 1,000 yards. Very good receiving season. Blocking was very good, other than Mitch Bass, but even then he was better than the other linemen we had. Larry Borum has been a monster, only 2 sacks at left guard. That's the 3rd hardest line position to play in this game. Rob Havenstein was a monster. Everyone was very good here. Leighton Vander Esch led the team in tackles with 138. I need to open my mouth when I speak. I said lid. I don't know. We had a ton of tackles for loss. 20 from Abdul Thurman, 18 from Nick Bosa, and sacks 18 from Nick Bosa. Apparently that's his lucky number. That's not Bill Cosby's lucky number, if you know what I'm saying. Travis Gibson even had 8 sacks. That's very good. Abdul Thurman with maybe a close to Defensive Player of the Year season. 7.5 sacks, 20 tackles for loss, decent amount of tackles. Justin Adams as a rookie only had 4 sacks, but again, 11 tackles for loss. Interceptions, Jaquan Brisker and Jalen Johnson each had 4, 2 from Kyler Gordon and Manny Lewis. I thought that said Mommy Lewis, I don't know. And then 1 from a few players. We were 10th in offensive yards. Our offense was actually much better after Justin Fields left. Our defense still sucks though. 16th in points scored, so we were mid. 29th in points allowed. Our defense is solid. Josh Allen wins MVP. No Bears up here, unfortunately. Offensive Player of the Year goes to Cooper Kupp. Paul Whiting at number 9. Okay, he was up there. I'm glad he was at least up there. Defensive Player of the Year, who would have guessed? Aaron Donald, Nick Bosa. Demario Davis, I forgot he's up here sometimes. At only an 81 overall now, damn. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Kevin Mayer of the Cardinals. Kevin Calhoun unfortunately does not win it. I kind of had hope that he would, but only at number 5. I guess he only played half a season, but still, he was good when he played. Defensive Player of the Year goes to, or Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Chris Whitfield of the Falcons. Justin Adams at number 5. I didn't think he would win it, but still disappointing. That's interesting. The Cowboys take down the Chiefs 45-27. They destroy them in Super Bowl 59. That's something, man. But in terms of re-signings, there's one player in specific that I really want to get back that I know is here. We need Larry Borom. He has been a monster for us. I never thought I would say that, but he has been so good. We're going to re-sign him for 6 years. Hopefully, he wasn't just playing to get a contract. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know if that's a thing in Madden, but I just hope not. But the rest of these players are just depth pieces. I guess I'll re-sign Jake Camarda. Okay, he takes that. But yeah, I'm just going to let everyone else here go, probably. I don't feel like paying them. I'm too lazy. So in free agency, it's actually not a very strong class. What do I want here? I saw Among Us St. Brown with Superstar Dev. I think it said he's only 25 years old still, which would be nice to get maybe, but I don't know if we need him. Paul Whiting didn't dev up. I figured he would, but he didn't. Okay. Well, I mean, we're not going to replace him or anything, but I thought he would dev up for sure. He had an insane season. Calhoun doesn't even dev up. Does he even develop at all? I thought he started at a 64. Thurman goes up to a Superstar Dev. I'm surprised Grant Delpit didn't upgrade at all. He was an 81 overall to begin with, and I don't get development in this game actually. Unless there's some glitch where it's not upgrading these players, which is very possible. It sounds like a very EA thing to happen. Like Jaquan Brisker didn't develop at all either. He stayed at a 78 after starting a full year. I don't get it. Paul Whiting is a 95 overall kick returner. Jesus, I didn't even see that. But what do I even want in free agency? I guess maybe QB, but he played super well last year. I don't trust him to do that for another year, but I'm not saying he can't. Ooh, Trevor Lawrence. Ooh, that sounds kind of fun. Or Trey Lance. Ooh. Let me see who plays well out of these two. Trevor Lawrence had a very good year last year. 112 passer rating, 4,900 yards, 33 touchdowns, only 9 interceptions, 71% completion percentage. He's been good before then, but that was a very good year. And Trey Lance, let's see how he does. Ooh, he might be the option. He has been consistently good throughout his career, and I think he would be cheaper. Just doesn't have as good of a dev trait and is obviously a lower overall. They're asking for the same amount of money. Let's offer Trevor Lawrence a contract. And actually, let me withdraw that and see what the offers for Trey Lance are looking like. Which one would we have a bigger lead on? They're the same. Okay, we're gonna go very player friendly for Trevor Lawrence. Hopefully that will be the full, oh, it's not. See, the thing is, both of these quarterbacks are equally as interested in joining, are the same age, and relatively similar overall, and asking for the same amount of money and have, like, the same other offers. It's just, Trey Lance has been consistently good throughout his career. Trevor Lawrence has been a little worse throughout his career here, but was better last year. so it's tough. I don't know which I trust more. All right, we'll try Trevor Lawrence. Let's see if he takes this. And he signs, but is that with us? Okay, we bring in Trevor Lawrence to be our QB of the future. We get rid of Justin Fields and bring in hopefully a quarterback that plays a bit better. In the draft, we have a top 5 pick. That's pretty huge because we already have a decent team. I mean, it's nothing special, but we have a decent team for sure. The Lions have the number 1 pick, unfortunately a division rival, but what do I want to do here? I think I know what I want to do here, but I'm not certain. Ugh. Maybe I don't. This guy doesn't look that good. I think I'm gonna go David Gandy here. I'm not sure, but he looks good. He's a power rusher out of South Carolina, left-handed just like me for real. Ran a 4.71 at the combine, but a 4.63 at his pro day, so I don't know what to believe. 28 reps at the combine, 26 at his pro day, that's similar. Listed with solid speed, great strength, which is nice. But I like the A power moves for sure and the A pursuit. We don't know the play rec. I'm hoping it's a B. It could be a C. I don't know the tackle. We don't know hit power, block shed, but they all look like they could be good. So let's take him, and he has normal. I knew it. I just knew it was bait, dude. God damn it. He's not going to be good. Let's take Nick Page here, a linebacker. A similar name to a certain actor, but I wonder who that could be. I have no idea. Ran a 4.53 at the combine, 24 reps on the bench. He looks good. No elite stats, but great speed. Good strength. I'm surprised that's not listed as great. A awareness, B play rec, decent coverage. Is this guy all that good? I mean, he's not great in coverage. He doesn't look great in run defense. Yeah, I guess let's take him. Nick Page is going to be the pick here. Probably normal dev. No, he actually has hidden. He has 89 speed. Good lord. This guy actually looks really good. He might even start this year. And then our third first round pick at pick 25. What do I want to do with this one? Ooh, this corner looks really good. Hold on. He's not very fast. A 4.54 40. That's kind of hard to say. Elite acceleration though, but B-man, B-press, maybe good zone, not good play rec, but corners never have good play rec, maybe good awareness. Let's take him. He looks maybe good, and he has normal. Okay. And with the last pick, I'm going to go Paul McKinley. He looks good for sure. Decent speed for a defensive tackle, good strength, or it's listed as solid speed, great strength, whatever. Just good stat, good all over the board. I mean, he just looks good. Even good pass rush. It's probably not going to be great, but I'm just guessing he's going to be a solid run defender. He's probably going to have normal, but let's take him anyways. And he does, but he looks like a good player, so it's not a bad pick. God, I hate this game sometimes. Our draft was not good. Let me see if I missed out on anyone big. Oh, I did. Well, I didn't even really have a chance to draft this player, taking it number 1 overall. There was a good corner. I was looking at him. Bruce Melton, I almost took him. I kind of wish I did. Does he have a dev trait? He does, of course. I was looking at him and I was like, no, this screams a player that would not have one because he's kind of like a run defender. He had decent, like, pass rush moves that just oh, he doesn't even have good pass rush moves, but he just screamed normal dev. Of course he has it when I don't take him, but, you know, whatever. Calvin Graves, the other pass rusher I was thinking about going. Another Calvin linebacker, that's weird. There was one power rusher outside linebacker in particular that I'm looking for, but I don't see him. Oh, it was KJ Bartell. Okay, he wasn't much better, but of course he actually had a dev trait. God damn it, dude. I wanna hurt myself, you know? Well, that's a weird sentence. I could have phrased that better, but I wanna see what his dev trait is. You wanna place bets on X Factor? Because I'm sure it is. No, it's gonna be probably Quick, or Star. I said Quick, dude, what year is it? Is it fucking Madden 18? I'm stupid. But yeah, we had some decent players. I mean, everyone we got was solid. Obviously, Nick Page had a dev trait. I took these two picks right here, Maurice Moore and Jeremiah Banks. I believe they both had dev traits, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so he's going to be an amazing number 2 tight end. And then the CPU took, you know, it took 270 overall running backs. I don't know why the CPU loves taking running backs in this rebuild, but they do. And they're all good, so I guess I can't complain too much, but we already have 2 2 or I guess 1 star dev running back, and then just a lot. I don't know. I thought we had 1 more star dev running back even, but apparently not. Here is a look at the team going into year number 4, the final year of the rebuild. And honestly, even though it is already year 4, I kind of wish I had time to do another year, because there is still a ton of youth with this team, like Abdul Thurman, Jaquan Brisker, Kyler Gordon, like all of our linebackers. Trevor Lawrence is only 25 with Superstar. Like, pretty much everyone on this team is still very young, but we also do have like superstar players like Nick Bosa, Justin Jefferson. We have very good players like Rob Havenstein, David Montgomery, Chris Lindstrom, Jalen Johnson, Abdul Thurman, like I mentioned earlier, Roquan Smith, who I haven't talked much about in this rebuild. He hasn't done much in this rebuild, to be fair, but yeah, we're looking very good. But let's get to the mid-season point of year number 4, and hopefully we're doing well. Well, that's not ideal. At the mid-season point of year number 4, we are 2-5. What's the problem? I'm about to bench somebody. I'm about to bench the whole team. Trevor Lawrence is mid. I mean, he's thrown an okay amount of touchdowns, but a lot of interceptions. How's the line holding up? Fine, our line is good. How's the defense? We're not getting much pressure, but Nick Bosa's doing well. We're getting an okay amount of interceptions, a lot of tackles for loss. The problem is Trevor Lawrence, and that's it. Now watch, I bet you Trey Lance is having the best season of all time. Like, I mean, he's doing better than Trevor Lawrence, but not a whole lot better. The Commanders signed him. I don't know, I'm pretty sure he has the most, well, almost the most interceptions in the league. Is the Bucks offense not that good anymore, or what? To be honest, I'm not sure what to do. Our defense has not been good. It looks like the Cardinals have a good offense through 7 games for them. The Bucks do too. Let's switch the defensive playbook, because I'm pretty sure we are 31st in terms of defense. Not ideal. Okay, we'll try that out. Wait, we're a 4-3. I forgot about that. So we wouldn't probably want to do that. Let's try the Chiefs defense. No, they only run partially 3-4. That's fine. Just some other defense other than this, because this one sucks. But I guess all we can really do here is get to the end of year number 4, and hopefully we can finish strong, I guess. So of course, before I reveal how we did in year number 4, just be sure to like and subscribe if you have somehow not already. It takes you like 2 seconds, and it helps push this video to more people. It helps me out a ton. And be sure to turn on notifications for my channel as well, because, you know, you'll get notified whenever I upload, or maybe go live in the near future and do one of these live and have you guys help make some of the decisions. So yeah, be sure to do all that and let me know what team or type of rebuild to do next, because I love doing whatever fun ideas you guys have. But here's one look at the defense as well. You know, you guys have already obviously seen it, but just some of the upgraded players like Thurman up to an 88, Trevor Lawrence playing at an 85, but unfortunately we finished 8-9. Now hold on, let me view the playoff bracket. Okay, so nobody really in our division made it except the Packers, obviously. But I would be really mad if one of the teams in our division made it, other than the Packers, at 9-8, because we lost in Week 18 to the Giants. Now, looking at that, I guess it's fair they beat us, because, you know, they made the playoffs. They were a playoff team, but still. Let's see what the problem was here. So we were 5th in offensive yards. We had an amazing offense. And 29th in defensive yards. Yikes. 11th in points scored. How about points allowed? 17th. Okay, not that bad. I feel like points in this game, and I guess in real life, matter a lot more than yards, at least for judging how good a team is, because we were about mid for both, and we finished about mid at 8-9. So Trevor Lawrence actually finished with a very strong season. 5,269 yards, nice. 41 touchdowns, which is good. 15 interceptions is a lot, but I guess you kind of take that. David Montgomery didn't quite hit 1,000 yards, but 4.2 yards per carry is okay. I did sign Leonard Fournette too, just for fun. He got a few snaps, didn't get many yards per carry, but a lot of touchdowns. Wait, did that say? Oh, I thought that said 5 fumbles. Okay, 2. Justin Jefferson might have won Offensive Player of the Year with 1,800 yards, 17 touchdowns. Mecole Hardman did well. Paul Whiting did well. Cole Kmet did well. All of our receivers were good. For the offensive line, everyone held up really well, except Mitch Bass and Matt Knoll were not great, especially Mitch Bass, or Bass. I don't know. It would be Bass, probably. Sean Wembley led the team with 127 tackles. Tackles for loss, 23 from Nick Bosa, and a good amount from a group of other players. In terms of sacks, though, Nick Bosa had 20. The next closest was 5.5 from Abdul Thurman. Okay. Trevis Gibson with 4. I didn't even play him as a pass rusher, or as like one of the edge rushers. I started David Gandy, who finished with a whole 1.5 sack. 1.5 sacks? Yeah, that's unfortunate. In terms of interceptions, Jalen Johnson led the team with 3. Jeremiah Banks, Sean Wembley, Kyler Gordon, and Roquan each had 2. And Roquan looks like he barely played. And then a few players got 1. So I wonder, I didn't mean to click that, god damn it. I wonder if Trevor Lawrence was up there for MVP, maybe? He was at number 6. Okay, so I guess the decision to trade Justin Fields and rock with Trevor Lawrence was decent. I would be very upset if Trey Lance was, wrong QB, right class. Justin Fields was ahead of Trevor Lawrence. I'm so tired right now, Jesus Christ. Offensive Player of the Year, Justin Jefferson at number 2. Cooper Kupp wins it, the white boy as usual. Defensive Player of the Year does go to Nick Bosa. Okay, that's huge. For some reason, I just didn't even think like, oh hey, Nick Bosa maybe won Defensive Player of the Year. I'm just so used to seeing Aaron Donald win it, but he did beat out Aaron Donald. Pause, I guess. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Dexter Aldridge of the Packers. Maurice Moore, our number 2 tight end at number 7, and Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Vernon Ginn of the Lions. I was gonna say another defensive player with the last name Ginn, but I'm thinking of Glover Quinn, who is a very good safety for them. Actually, most people watching this probably won't know who that is. So if you don't, he was very good. Jeremiah Banks, one of our linebackers at number 2. David Gandy, the defensive end who was starting, somehow only got number 7, and I don't believe Banks was starting at all, and he placed way higher than him. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, like I said, that is unfortunately the end of today's rebuild. It was a very good team that we built, especially considering what we started with. We went up 12 overall throughout the course of this rebuild, and I don't feel like I did anything too unrealistic other than trading, a bulk amount of players for picks. I guess I could be more unrealistic and gone for like a superstar like pass rusher alongside Nick Bosa, but I don't know. Also, simply because I'm curious, I want to see what Nicolas Cage's dev trade is. What? Are you kidding me? Why didn't I start him? How did Banks end up getting more playing time? Oh, because I had him, my god, I'm gonna kill myself. I had him as the number 2 sub linebacker, and I guess he played as the number 1 sub linebacker a lot because it already had Wembley on the starting lineup. God damn it. I don't know if it would have had played much of a role, but still, that sucks so bad. I almost want to go another year, but I just don't have the time. He would be a 74 overall defensive end. I almost want to like redo this season. I wish I could. I wish it would give me the glitch, like the inactivity glitch, and just restart the season. You know what? I'm gonna entirely simulate one other season. We're doing one more. I want to see, just with a little more development, if this team can be good. I'm not even going to show the offseason. I'm not even going to do much for the offseason. I just want to make this team good. So this is a look at the team for the 100% final season of the rebuild, the 5th year of the rebuild. This is the longest one I've ever done. You might notice we have some changes on the offense. We traded for Ryan Richardson from the Bills. Now that's an interesting name, or interesting way to spell it at least, but he is a very good looking receiver. No homo, I guess. That's not how I meant it, but still. 84 overall, only 24 years old with superstar dev. I expect him to be up to like maybe even an 88 with morale by the end of the year. Trevor Lawrence goes up to superstar X Factor after his borderline MVP season. And Rob Havenstein actually retired on us, so I drafted a couple linemen. We're going to start Darrell Levy because he does have a dev trait. If he sucks, then we'll bench him. If not, then great. And then the defense here is quite a bit different. So the trade I did to the Bills was for Ryan Richardson and Larry Reynolds, a superstar middle linebacker. I traded Mecole Hardman and Deshaun Hand, along with, I think, a second round pick for both of those players. So that was kind of a steal. Plus, it helped us clear up some much needed money, because we are poor. And the reason I traded for Reynolds is because I had to cut Leighton Vander Esch to save money, and I needed a safety because I couldn't draft one. So we moved Sean Wembley to safety, because he's 6'1", 221, has good coverage stats, is relatively fast. Like, he's a great fit there. He basically was a safety, and he already wore number 21, so it's a perfect fit. And obviously, kind of the reason I'm doing this extra season is Nick Page, the X-Factor defensive, well, he was a linebacker, but we needed more pass rush, so I moved him down to defensive end. He has 89 speed, no pass rush moves, but we're hoping we can develop them throughout the year. It would have been nice if he got one of those breakout scenarios where it gives them like +5 to each of their pass rush moves, but unfortunately we didn't. I think it was +5 cover or +5 play rec for Wembley was the one we got. At least that's what I chose. It was either that or like tackling. But without further ado, let's get to the end of year number 5. I think you can tell from the morale here, but at the end of year number 5, this year was not like the other years. This one was a bit better. But you know, since this is the technical last year, I want to plug again right here. Be sure to like and sub if you've somehow made it all the way here and haven't already. Turn on notifications, comment what team I should do next, share it with a friend, all that stuff. All helps me out more than you could imagine, and it's pretty easy for you to do, so I would appreciate it. And also, I perfectly predicted what Ryan Richardson's overall would be, 88 overall with morale. I'm a god. It looks like Levy was good, even though he only has star dev, but that's still fine. This team was just amazing. We even have Paul Whiting, who's been very good for us, up to an 86 overall. He's kind of the sleeper best player of this rebuild. He's been a monster. Either that or Larry Borum or Justin Jefferson maybe. Trevor Lawrence was very good last year. And then the defense here, obviously Nick Page up to an 82 with morale already. He was a great find. Still no pass rush moves, obviously. He is listed pretty high with his archetypes, but still only 66 for each. So it's kind of iffy, but hopefully he had at least a decent pass rush here. Roquan up to a 91, Reynolds up to an 85, Johnson up to a 90, obviously Nick Bosa at a 99. Abdul Thurman playing with +5 from morale up to a 92. I don't know why our defensive tackles have so much morale, but I'll take it. But this year, we went 14-3, winning the division. Now, in terms of stats, I want to get through this quick. I'm not going to jump into games because, you know, I don't want this to be too long of a video. Trevor Lawrence was very good, 4,900 yards, 37 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Not quite as good as his year last year, but still good. 69% completion percentage. Nice. Rushing, David Montgomery was a monster this year. 1,200 yards, 17 touchdowns, 4.3 yards per carry is decent. Justin Jefferson with 1,500 yards, 15 touchdowns. Ryan Richardson, the player we traded for, 1,200 yards, only 3 touchdowns, but good amount of yards. Paul Whiting was okay. Cole Kmet finally got touchdowns this year with 10, good amount of yards. Blocking, again, very good offensive line. Darrell Levy only let up 10 sacks in Madden as a rookie left tackle is crazy. Mitch Bass was very good this year. And defensively, Larry Reynolds, the player we traded for from the Bills, that was a huge trade for us. I kind of wish I showed it, but I mean, you guys know what happened anyways. You can picture it. Nick Bosa led the team in tackles with tackles for loss with 20. Nick Page had 18. Larry Reynolds and Abdul Thurman each had 15. And in terms of sacks, it looks like this was the missing piece. Nick Page, I'm going to mention him first. He's not even a pass rusher, but he had 12.5. He is a stud. Nick Bosa with 22. Abdul Thurman even had 7. Paul McKinley with 6.5. Interceptions, Jalen Johnson has been a monster. He had 5, which led the team. 3 from Roquan, 2 from Jeremiah Banks and Greg Newsome, and 1 from Sean Wembley and Jimmy Carmichael. I think that's the first time I've ever read the players that got 1 interception. MVP goes to Dakota Rain Prescott. Is that what his name is? I think it is. Justin Herbert on the Giants is up there. Trevor Lawrence at number 9. Okay, he does make it. Offensive Player of the Year, who would have guessed? Cooper Kupp and Christian McCaffrey. It's like a given. Justin Jefferson at number 4. No other Bears. Cedric Wilson on the Packers. That was interesting. Nick Bosa wins back-to-back Defensive Player of the Years. I like to put actual players for the teams in the thumbnails, but I might have to put Nick Bosa because he's been a stud. Aaron Donald up there as well. Nick Page comes in at number 6. in his first year starting. No Bears for Offensive Rookie of the Year, and no Bears for Defensive Rookie of the Year either. I guess we didn't have any play? Huh. Oh yeah, I guess I drafted a few linemen, so that's what it is. But let's see who we are going to be playing in the playoffs. Like I said, we're not going to be jumping in because this is kind of just a bonus year anyways. I just wanted to have one successful year. We're probably going to lose this game anyways, but that's fine. So we have a playoff blizzard. You used to be able to make a decision whether you want to pass or run it more. I don't know if it's still that way. I don't think it is. They need to fix the glitch of like the jerseys doing that, having the weird stripes through them and the wrong names. So it's going to lower our change of direction, which isn't going to be an advantage for us by any means because we have players like Justin Jefferson who rely a lot on their shiftiness and routes. I guess the Cowboys kind of lose from that with like CeeDee Lamb if they still have him. I don't know. We do have some upgrades before we sim the week. Who do we have here? Just our center, Matt Knoll. That's decent. Sure up the O-line, I guess. But let's see if we can take down the Dallas Cowboys. And we can, 28-21. Let's check the recap, whatever the means for the playoff blizzard. Do we gain XP for this or anything? Oh, we do. 2,500 XP, 5 staff points. That's pretty huge. That should be like a decent amount of upgrade. Oh yeah. Oh my god. That's like a decent amount of the team. Oh yeah, and I didn't even point this out. I traded for Greg Newsome. I probably should have mentioned this, but I couldn't afford to re-sign Jaquan Brisker or Kyler Gordon. So that's why I moved Wembley to safety, and I traded for Greg Newsome. I don't remember what I traded for him, I'm gonna be honest. But I did that. He has 90-man coverage, Jesus. But without further ado, let's see if we can take down the New York Giants. Now, obviously, they have Justin Herbert, so it might not be an easy task, but we do get the home game. We have a better overall. We have a 3 overall better defense, so hopefully they can handle Justin Herbert. And they cannot. Unfortunately, we lose a pretty close game, 26-20. The Super Bowl is going to be Broncos-Giants, if you could see that for the second it was there. But finally, that is going to be the end of today's rebuild. We built a very good team here. I would love to keep going with Nick Page just to see the career of him, because, I mean, X Factors are incredibly rare in this game. Most of the time they are normal devs or star at the very best. And it's just fun that he was a linebacker, like an inside linebacker, and we moved him down to defensive end, and he was a monster in his first year. But like I said, that is the end of today's rebuild. If you enjoyed it, for the millionth time, just be sure to like, sub, turn on notifications. Let me know what team I should do next. I'm sure if you've made it all the way here, you've done that by now. But you know, I gotta give the reminder. I want to help the channel grow, and I hope you do. I hope you do too. But that is all for today's rebuild. I hope you guys enjoyed. I really do. And I will see you guys again, hopefully in the next rebuild. Goodbye.